This is Analog and Digital Communication Systems. The course code is EC501. It has 3 lectures per week and total 36 contact hour in the semester. It has 3 number of credit points. Myself, Dr. Indranath Sarkar, Associate Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering at JS College of Engineering, Kollali. It has 5 course outcome. At the end of the course, we expect the students will able to explain the importance of amplitude and digital modulation, demodulation schemes, analyze analog communication systems for their signal to noise ratio, efficiency and bandwidth, compare the advantage of various pulse modulation technique and analyze their system performance, demonstrate signal representation, analyze various digital communication techniques, can compute the bit error performance and compare their advantages and limitations. So these are the points we expect that students will able to demonstrate or explain or analyze or compute or compare. So all these things will make the students mastermind on this subject. There are 5 modules for this subject, and for each of the subject there are some contact hours limited to complete. There are 6 contact hours assigned to module 1 for introductory descriptions. For the module 2, random process has 6 contact hours. 3 contact hours assigned to module 3 on pulse modulation, 8 contact hours assigned to signal vector representation under module 4. In module 5, digital modulation technique has 13 contact hours. So total 13 plus 8 plus 3 plus 6 plus 6. So total 36 contact hours exist for the completion of analog digital communication systems. For like every subject has prerequisite, here is also the knowledge of signal vector representation, characteristics of additive wide Gaussian noise, geometric representation of signals, synthesizer, analyzer, signal vector, signal space, Euclidean space are required. Signals and systems is a subject which is covered in earlier semester, has many things to recall for the analog and digital communication system. So signal and system is an important subject before understanding analog and digital communication. Still there are mathematics, that is engineering mathematics covered up to 3rd semester, has plenty of mathematical equations such as the Fourier transformation, Laplace transformation. So those things are required to understand, as well as trigonometric applications are required for analog and digital communication. Statistical part will be revised here. So that is why if the basic statistical part required, it is needed to be recapitulated. Now these are the course outcome versus program outcome mapping. Now as the analog and digital communication has plenty of application in the domain of information technology, that is why we are finding there are almost all the program outcome has minimum contribution to one or more course outcome. The course outcome weightage 3 is given for high weightage, 2 weightage is given for moderate weightage, and 1 value is written, that is the numerical value 1 is given for least weightage to some program outcome. And if there is no such linkage, then it is kept blank. Now as the basic mathematics related, that is why it has high weightage to program outcome 1 and program outcome 2. Also it is dealing with several project oriented work, because in communication system various basic modulator, demodulator, as well as quantizer, equalizer, many circuits, basic circuits are utilized for the communication system. That is why it is also related to implementation of project. There are various projects which could be implemented using a communication circuitry. Also, there are various mathematical equations required to reduce the noise addition to the transmitted signal. So transmitted signal are prone to noise. That is why noise elimination is one of the most important factor for analog and digital communication. Here the differences of analog and digital communication will be taught, and thereby students will understand how digital communication dominates over analog communication, but cannot avoid analog communication for the transmission of digital signals through wireless medium. So that is why various project related as well as seminar conferences, English languages, all are related and has weightage, as well as it has lifelong learning uh, because students may target for circuit implementation, that is their dream project may be implemented later. So that is why lifelong learning is also having higher weightage for each of the outcome. The course objective for analog and digital communication is to familiarize students with the fundamentals of analog and digital communication system, because analog communication is the primary communication system, thereafter digital communication has come. So comparison as well as their foundation knowledge required to be transmitted to the student, to provide students with tools and for communication signal analysis. So there are various mathematical tools, simulators that will be provided to students to better understand about the application of such tools, to familiarize students with various techniques for amplitude modulation and demodulation of analog signals, to develop the students' ability to determine the effects of receiver frequency and phase errors in synchronous uh, modulation systems. So phase error or magnitude error are critical cases which will be studied uh, under these objectives. To familiarize students with techniques for generating and demodulating narrowband and wideband frequency and phase modulated signals, to familiarize students with the basic techniques for generating and demodulating pulse code modulated signals, to familiarize students with issues pertaining to the transmission of digital signals over bandwidth limited communication channels. So with this we will start the analog and digital communication system. Analog and digital communication, we are discussing module 4, signal vector representation. Today we will discuss the orthogonality and orthonormality. These are the important considerations in digital communication. Orthogonality in digital communications and orthogonality in a complex domain. The orthogonality and orthonormality are a very important requirement for the signals to represent information, and which will be used for communication. Because in communication, normally we are very much aware about the contamination of the information, because whenever informations are modulated, they are transferred to the long distance, and and in this communication path, they are mostly contaminated with noise, which are normally additive in nature, and such noise addition sometimes may falsely interpret the information. That means some information has been sent and wrong information has been recognized. So in such a communication, it is a destruction of the information. So information will not be properly collected. Therefore, we are very much aware about the noise contamination in the digital communication. So whenever noise elimination has been done, we can reconstruct the digital information, which is not possible in case of analog communication. We already have seen, because in analog communication, normally filtering is the only method by which noise could be removed. But in case of digital communication, the filtering is done, but reconstruction is the additional advantage of the digital communication, where the information is reconstructed, because here certain voltage threshold is the requirement. So whenever the information is exceeding a threshold voltage, that means it is electrically represented by means of voltage, and whenever it is crossing the threshold, then we can reconstruct the original shape of the pulse at the receiving end. So it is not a difficult matter, but the main concentration or main attention need to be paid whether the information reconstructed is correct or not. So therefore, error reduction in digital communication is very much important, and that is a great criteria in case of digital communication. So here, orthogonality and orthonormality are the two basic requirements to maintain good quality digital communication. Now here it has been assumed that fmx and fnx are the two real valued functions defined over the interval a lesser or equal to x lesser or equal to b. Now if the product f of mx and f of nx exist over a interval, the two functions are called orthogonal to each other in the interval a lesser or equal to x or lesser or equal to b when the following conditions hold. So before going to the condition here, let us interpret this mathematics about the communication system. That is, communication engineering is a domain where the signals are represented by means of electrical form, and here we are utilizing functions, mathematical functions, but the mathematical functions are represented in terms of the electrical signal. So before being presented in electrical signal, the mathematics required to be proper, so that it could be applied for the signal analysis. So here the two functions stated, we need to clear about the two functions, because two functions are related to the carrier, which will be realized by electrical signal. Now these carrier signals required to maintain orthogonality and orthonormality, so that they will produce some modulated signal which will have good amount of noise immunity, and the noise could be removed from that modulated signal. That means whenever it is contaminated with noise, it should have a good feature, so that at the receiving end, before being decoded, that means before being demodulated, the modulated information, the noise part should be properly removed. So therefore, orthogonality and orthonormality are the two requirements, and both of these requirements need to be present in the carrier signal. Now regarding the functions which are showing orthogonal and orthonormal should maintain this mathematical expression, that is the product of the two functions if integrated over a certain range, then it will be equal to 0 if the suffixes m and n are not equal. That means if the two functions are different, that means if there are two carrier functions, if they are multiplied and integrated over the specific range b to a, where x is the function, x is the independent variable through which you have to integrate. Now this independent variable will be later, we will find it is replaced by the time. So x will be replaced by time, and if we integrate over the lower limit to upper limit, and that integration will be equal to 0. So that means there should not have any correlation between the two signals. So this is called orthogonal property. Now an orthogonal set of functions, that means if there are multiple orthogonal set of functions, f1x, f2x, up to fnx, is called an orthonormal set if the product fmx and fnx, if integrated over b to a, it will produce 0 when m is not equal to n, and it will be equal to 1 when m is equal to n. The norm may be defined as the mod value. It is of course mod value, and it is nothing but the square root of the integration of the square of the function. So therefore norm is one that gives us the magnitude the calculation is made from the energy of the signal. So here fmx is a function as well as orthogonal set of functions, that means f1x, f2x, fnx are called orthonormal set if the product, if integrated, that is any two function if we choose, if the product has been taken and integrated over a specific duration. Here the duration is in terms of x, then we are getting it is either 0 or 1. 0 means for m is not equal to n, and 1 stands for m is equal to n. So therefore this is the basic requirement that any two function if integrated that should maintain this relation. So for same means it is having the unity power. So power of the same signal will be unity. So that is why the product of the two function when m is equal to n means the same signal, if squared and integrated, it should produce unity energy. So that is why it is told that it is normalized. And the orthogonality in digital communication, the basic concepts are in the design and selection of information bearing pulses. Orthogonality over a symbol duration may be used to find the advantage for deriving efficient symbol by symbol demodulation scheme. So the method, that is orthogonality, required to be maintained, that is if there are two other signals has been multiplied, if they are producing non-zero value, that will not be accepted, because in that case it will produce erroneous contribution of the other signal in particular sampling interval. Performance analysis of several modulation demodulation schemes can be carried out if the information bearing signal waveform are known to be orthogonal to each other. So that means the performance analysis of several modulation and demodulation schemes need to be carried out, and if it is found that the information bearing signal is mixed with other signal, then the orthogonality will not be proved, and we will find erroneous contribution in the time of modulation. The concept of orthogonality can be used to advantage in the design and selection of single and multiple carriers for modulation, transmission, and reception. Now this is the orthogonality in complex domain, that is if Z1 is equal to x1t plus jy1t and Z2 is equal to x2 plus jy2. That means we are representing two functions Z1 and Z2. They are complex because they are having one real part and another is imaginary part. Then x1 and x2, then x1 and x2 may be separately expressed in terms of Z1 and Z2, because Z1 conjugate, if we write, it is x1 minus jy1. So if we take their summation Z1 plus Z conjugate, it will give 2x1, and average of Z1 plus Z1 conjugate gives us x1t. So similarly, we can get the expression for x2t. So here, if x1 and x2, that is the real part of the two complex function, to each other over a lesser equal to t lesser equal to b. If we find a to b integrated part for the product of x1t and x2t is equal to 0, that means they are orthogonal to each other. So to follow this real part which is orthogonal, then in terms of the real part we can express the complex function if the product is integrated, that is equal to 0. That gives us a condition, that is the product of Z1, Z2, product of their conjugate, and the mixture of the product, that is Z1 multiplied by Z1, Z2 conjugate, and Z2 multiplied by Z1 conjugate. So these algebraic summation must be equal to 0. Then only we can say it is orthogonal in nature. So this is all about the orthogonality and orthonormality. In the next class, we will continue our discussion with signal representation.